Okay, let's talk about AI. But we're going to reframe the whole conversation. We're going to move past the sci-fi blockbusters and get into something, well, a lot more immediate and a lot more personal. This explainer is based on Chloe Devine's AI and the Human Mirror, and it reveals that the real challenges of AI aren't some far-off future problem. They're already here.
So, when I say AI danger, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, right, it's the sentient robots. It's the super intelligent machines turning on their creators. You know, the classic Hollywood story we've seen a million times. And yeah, it's dramatic, it's exciting, but it might just be distracting us from what's really going on.
Because the deeper danger, according to this analysis, isn't some robot uprising in the future. It's something much quieter, something way more familiar. In fact, it's already woven into the fabric of our daily lives, and it's speeding up patterns we've been stuck in for a very, very long time.
So what is this real danger? It's not that AI is going to develop a mind of its own and come after us. It's that it's going to do exactly what we tell it to. It's that it will amplify our own most destructive habits on a scale we've never seen before.
You know, humanity has a long and storied history of creating powerful tools we can't quite control. Think about it. Fire, gunpowder, the Industrial Revolution, nuclear energy. We keep inventing things that completely reshape our world. But AI is different. It's the first one of these major forces that doesn't just act on the physical world. It acts directly on us, on how we think, how we feel, and how we talk to each other.
So to really get this, we need a new way of looking at it, a new metaphor. Let's just stop thinking of AI as some kind of alien intelligence. Instead, let's start seeing it for what it truly is, a mirror. A mirror reflecting all of humanity right back at itself.
And that brings us to this really critical contrast here. The fantasy, what we were all kind of sold on, is that we were building this objective oracle, right? A pure source of truth free from human error. But the reality? The reality is that these systems are just mirrors trained on all of our messy, biased, and deeply, deeply human data. Kate Crawford just nails it with this quote. She writes, "Artificial intelligence is neither artificial nor intelligent. It's the extraction of large-scale human labor, data, and resources to train systems that reflect the world as it is, with all its inequalities and biases." So, in other words, AI isn't some magical thing that popped out of nowhere. It's a system built from the raw material of our society, and it inherits all of our flaws right alongside all of our wisdom. And this is the absolute key. AI is trained on, well, everything we are. Our books and our histories, sure, but also our arguments, our misinformation, our cruelty, our blind spots. It learns from the world as it is, not as we wish it would be. And that's why it can sound so profound one minute and then so biased or just plain hollow the next. It's just us. So this mirror effect leads us straight into something called the acceleration trap. And this is where that kind of philosophical idea becomes a real, tangible force that's impacting our lives, our jobs, and our well-being every single day. I bet we've all felt this cycle. We get a new tool, like AI, and it promises to save us time, to give us some breathing room. But does it? No. Instead of working less, the expectations just go up. We use the tool to do more and to do it faster, and pretty soon, that new higher level of output becomes the new normal, and the pressure is right back on, maybe even worse than before. The philosopher Hartmut Rosa has a name for this: social acceleration. And the fundamental problem is that humans don't scale like servers. We don't get firmware upgrades. We get tired, we get overloaded. And a population that is chronically overloaded doesn't resist. It just complies. This acceleration is creating a brand new divide. It's building a world that rewards thinking like a computer, fast, structured, efficient. But in the process, it quietly punishes the very traits that make us human: our empathy, our intuition, our ability to deeply connect with one another. Those things start getting labeled inefficient. And as Sherry Turkle warns us here, this whole process isn't just external. As we spend more and more time talking to AI, we start to adopt its patterns of communication. And because language shapes our thoughts, this isn't just a new tool. It's actively reshaping our social behaviors. We're not just designing machines, we're redesigning ourselves. So the cognitive cost is huge. We can feel it. But there's another cost that is almost completely hidden from view, and that's the massive physical and environmental price we're paying to power this digital world. I mean, the marketing is brilliant, right? AI is sold to us as this ethereal, weightless cloud. It's clean. It's magic. You ask a question into the void, and an answer just appears out of thin air. It feels completely immaterial. But that feeling, it's an illusion.
To put just one number on it, in 2023, Google's data centers alone used billions of gallons of fresh water, and that was mostly just for cooling. The reality of AI isn't some fluffy cloud. It's a massive, physical, resource-hungry global infrastructure.
The real cost is absolutely immense. We're talking about land for the data centers, water for the cooling systems, rare minerals for all the hardware, and a truly staggering amount of energy for computation. The source material puts it in these stark terms. If we're not careful, we risk trading a living Earth for a searchable archive of what it used to be.
So why on earth would we risk that? The answer is depressingly simple: greed. But it's framed as competition. This idea that developing AI is an arms race, that nations and companies have to win at all costs. That's the narrative that's pushing development way past the boundaries of what is safe or sustainable.
So, this brings us to a critical choice, a fork in the road. We've laid out the problems, from the cognitive costs to the ecological ones. Now we have to look at the path forward. And there are two very, very different futures on the table. First, let's be clear about what won't save us. Hoping corporations will just restrain themselves? Nope. Believing the market will sort it out? It won't. The only thing that has ever worked when humanity has faced this kind of global challenge is setting collective boundaries, treaties, regulations, and shared agreements about what we as a society will simply not do, no matter how profitable it might seem. So here it is. This is the choice. Future one is the race. We just keep accelerating, optimizing for speed and profit, and we figure we'll deal with the consequences later. Future two is the pause. We choose to slow down, on purpose. We set limits. We decide that human well-being and the health of our planet are non-negotiable. And this quote from Jaron Lanier just perfectly sums up the stakes of choosing the race. The real dystopia isn't that machines become human-like. It's that we become machine-like, optimized, efficient, and ultimately less human. So the most important thing to take away from all this is that AI is not our destiny. It's not something that's just happening to us. It is a mirror that we built. And if we don't like the exhausted, biased, and unsustainable reflection that we're seeing in it, well, smashing the mirror isn't going to fix anything. We have to change ourselves. Ultimately, this all boils down to one fundamental question. What is the point of all this incredible intelligence we're building? Is it here to serve life? To make our world more humane? More sustainable? More alive? Or have we decided that from now on, life must serve the machine? That is the choice we are making right now with every step we take.